Clan Little is a Scottish clan of the Borders. The clan does not currently have a chief and is therefore considered an armigerous clan. The Clan Little Society had a guardian in place of a clan chief, but since his death in 2007, no suitable successor has appeared. History. Origins of the clan. According to Black, Little is a descriptive name and was originally written in Latin documents as parvus, meaning little or small. Given that the name is descriptive, it is impossible to find any clear origin of the Little name in Scotland. In the 12th century, David I, King of Scots, appointed Walter Fitzalan, an Anglo-Norman from Shropshire, as High Steward of Scotland. In his capacity as steward, Walter granted lands at Cairntable, Ayrshire, to Alan Little, a former neighbour on the Shropshire-Cheshire border. By 1300 the Littles had settled in Dumfriesshire, where Nicol Little was recorded as conservator of the peace for Lochmabensterne in the Scottish West March of the Anglo-Scottish border. Sometime before 1426, Simon Little was granted tenure of Meikledale, Sorby and Kirktoon in Newsdale, Dumfriesshire, by the then regent, Robert Stewart, 1st Duke of Albany. The grant was confirmed in 1426, shortly after James I returned from his captivity in England. Simon Little, 1st Laird of Meikledale, is therefore considered to be the first chief of the name. Wars of Scottish independence. About the time of Alan Little's grant of land at Cairntable, Walter the Steward granted lands near Kilmarnock, Ayrshire, to Richard le Whallys, also of Shropshire. This Richard was the grandfather of Sir William Wallace, one of the main leaders in the early wars of Scottish independence. Sir William's sister may have married a Little and had a son named Edward, who became a trusted lieutenant. We believe this because Blind Harry the Minstrel mentioned such a person in his poem The Wallace, and Edward Little, his sister's son, so dare, full well grey that until Thar armour Clare. 15th century. Members of the Little clan became established in Newsdale, Eskdale and Wauchopedale, following the House of Douglas's forfeiture as tenants-in-chief. Following the Battle of Arkenholm in 1455, the Eskdale-Newsdale lands passed to the Maxwell clan. The exceptions were the homes of the Littles at Meikledale and the Elliots at Arkshelton, which were not feudal property. 16th century. By the start of the 16th century, Clan Armstrong had risen to power such that it was reputed in 1528 that they could muster 3,000 horsemen, Littles amongst them. Their leader, Johnny Armstrong of Gilnockie, posed a threat to King James V, who arranged in 1530 to meet him at Caerlonrug. The Armstrong retinue was surprised by the king's men, and then 33 Armstrongs, Littles, Elliots and Irvings, including Johnny, were hanged on the spot. In 1568 over 100 Littles rode with Battisons, Armstrongs, Glendinnings and Thompsons on John Maxwell, 8th Lord Maxwell's raid on Stirling. Family tradition has it that the Littles returned with many more horses than they were set out with. They were pardoned in 1585, while Maxwell was briefly serving as the Earl of Morton. 17th century. The union of the crowns in 1603 meant that James I of England and Vi of Scots no longer had a need for strong men in his Middleshires. The border reivers had become a nuisance to the king, and efforts were made to disband them using fire, noose and sword. Many borderers were transported to Ireland, and others fled into northwest Cumberland. At this time Simon Little of Meikledale was chief, followed by his son, Thomas, and grandson, David, chief in 1670. 18th century. David Little was the last Little to be Laird of Meikledale. Following the pacification of the border, the lairdship passed to Thomas Beattie, and David was given work as a groom at Windsor Castle. He had two sons, Simon Little of Nittyholm, who had 7 daughters, and Matthew, William Little, who lived in Reading and went to sea in 1745. Any descendants of Matthew have yet to be traced. Throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, Littles migrated throughout the United Kingdom into North America, Australia and New Zealand. Clan symbols. Arms. The arms of the Lairds of Meikledale were sable a saltire argent, also sable a saltire engrailed argent. In 1997, the Clan Little Society, Scotland and worldwide, secured a grant of arms from Lord Leon, King of Arms. The blazon is sable a saltire argent and chief point a winged stirrup or on a chief of 4 chain links fesswise. Gules. Crest Badge. The clan Crest Badge is made up of the last chief, the Little of Meikledale's heraldic crest and motto. Meikledale's motto, Concedo Nulli, or Fide Coticula Crux. Meikledale's crest, a demi-lion sable powdered with saltires argent. Armed gules. In dexter a cutlass proper and in sinister a saltire argent. Mottos. Concedo Nulli, I yield to no one my trust. Magnum in parvo, great in little. Fide Coticula Crux, the cross is the touchstone of faith. Tartan. Members of the Clan Little Society may wear the Little of Mortonrig tartan. This set was designed by Dr. James Johnny Crawford Little of Mortonrig, then Clan Guardian. In 1991, it incorporates elements of the Wallace tartan, alluding to the historical connection to Sir William Wallace, and the Shepherd tartan. Photographs of Littles and other borderers from the 19th century regularly show them in clothing and moored, plaid, of simple, black and white checked border tartan. In contrast to national Scottish dress conventions, border clansmen occasionally wear non-matching plaids. For example, it is acceptable to wear trews in the Little of Mortonrig tartan and a moored in border tartan. Livery colours, black and white, taken from the Lairds of Meikledale's arms. Clan plant, heather. Clan march. The Reivers of Meikledale. A 2/4 march written for the clan in 1993 by John Mason MB. See also. Little. Surname. Clan Little Society. Scotland and worldwide. http www.clanlittlesociety.co. UK. Clan Little Society. North America. http clanlittlesna.com. Clan Little Society New Zealand and Australia. http www.littleclan.net. The Scottish Register of Tartans. http www.tartanregister.gov. UK. Search. ASPX